I don't wanna. How many times have you said that this week? I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to have that difficult conversation. I don't want to start the project. I don't want to do the dishes. Let's talk about the phrase that shows up right before we quit. This is too hard. It's the invisible handbrake that stops people from changing, growing, or even trying. Here's the thing, your toddler brain is in charge. And until you understand how to override it, you're going to keep living in the smallest, safest version of your life. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to stop letting I don't feel like it decide your life, without needing motivation, discipline, or willpower. The comfort zone trap. Here's the truth. The things you're most proud of in life, the relationships you repaired, the degrees you earned, the babies you raised, the businesses you built, none of them were easy. You didn't grow during the easy stuff. You grew when it got uncomfortable and you didn't run away. Let me show you something. Imagine a tiny circle. Inside that circle is your comfort zone. What's in there? Eating, Netflix, scrolling social media, doing a job you've done for 10 years. Look how small that circle is. And here's what nobody tells you. You should fear that circle. Because that tiny comfort zone, that's not a very expansive life. Your brain has something called the motivational triad. It wants 3 things: easy, pleasurable, and away from pain. This is wired into your biology. It's what kept your ancestors alive. But here's the problem. What your brain thinks is protecting you is actually keeping you stuck. Every time you avoid discomfort, every time you choose easy over hard, you're training your brain that you can't handle it, that the discomfort is dangerous, and the circle stays small. Avoiding discomfort keeps us small. It keeps us in the job we hate, the habits that drain us, and the stories that no longer serve us. Here's the trade-off. Short-term comfort equals long-term discomfort. Short-term discomfort equals long-term freedom. But here's what's possible, and this is where it gets exciting, because there's a simple way to expand that circle, and once you see it, you'll never look at hard the same way again. Expanding the circle. Think about everything in your life that used to be hard that's now easy. Your first day at a job, learning to drive, having your first kid, using new technology. All of those things were outside your comfort zone once. They were scary, difficult. You probably avoided them at first, but you did them anyway. And now they're easy. They've moved inside your comfort zone. That's how this works. You do the thing that's uncomfortable until it isn't anymore. It's like flexing a muscle. The more you do things, the more falls inside that circle of comfort. So let me show you how to actually expand that circle, step by step. This is what I call comfort zone conditioning. Let's say your comfort zone is that tiny inner circle. The next circle out, those are the small, uncomfortable things. Things like taking a 10-second cold shower, posting a photo you're not 100% confident about, leaving the house without makeup, saying no to someone, sitting with nothing to do for 5 minutes, apologizing without making excuses. None of these will kill you, but they're uncomfortable. And that's the point. You practice these until they stop being uncomfortable, until they move into your comfort zone. And here's the magic. Once they do, you're ready for the bigger challenges. The bigger circle. Once those smaller discomforts become comfortable, you move to the next circle. This is where the real transformation happens. These are things like training for a marathon, writing a chapter of that book, going out to dinner alone, public speaking, asking for a raise, starting that business, bringing up the difficult thing with your mom, sitting in the front row of an exercise class instead of hiding in the back. Notice the pattern? You're slowly expanding what you can handle. You're proving to your brain, hey, I can do this. It's uncomfortable, but I'm not dying. And every time you do this, you're creating new neural pathways. You're literally rewiring your brain. The first time is hard. The 10th time is easier. The 100th time, you're a pro. But how do you actually make yourself do these things when everything in you is screaming, I don't wanna? That's where most people get stuck. And the answer is simpler than you think. 3 steps to doing it anyway. Step 1, awareness and calling it out. Step 1 is the mistake most people skip, and it's why they stay stuck. First, you have to get this on your radar. Set a goal to literally listen for discomfort. The key word to listen for? Hard, or this is gonna suck. Every time you hear yourself say that, either out loud or in your head, that's your flag. That's your brain trying to keep you in the comfort zone. When you hear it, call it out. I'm feeling uncomfortable right now, or I don't want to do this thing. Just naming it takes away some of its power. Here's another thing. Why does hard have to equal bad? It doesn't. Something can be challenging, difficult, not effortless, and still be worth doing. Remember, most people think they can't handle hard emotions, but the worst thing that happens is a physical sensation. Tight chest, racing heart, maybe tears. That's it. We do cold plunges, marathons, childbirth, and tax season, but we think we can't tolerate a little vulnerability or fear? Please, we're tougher than we think. Step 2, challenge yourself to run toward it. This step is the counterintuitive part. When you notice discomfort, lean into it instead of away from it. What if every time you felt fear, you ran toward it instead of away from it? Think about where you'd be in life. Practice being uncomfortable on purpose. Start small. Have that awkward conversation you've been avoiding. Say no to something that drains you. Sit quietly for 5 minutes instead of numbing out on your phone. Try something new and let yourself be bad at it. Each time, remind yourself, this is what growth feels like. Discomfort is the tuition you pay for a life that's bigger than your fears. Yesterday, I caught myself avoiding my workout and said out loud, "Oh, I'm avoiding those planks because they're hard." So I did them anyway. I'm never going to be the person that runs toward exercise. I've given up that fantasy. It's just something I do because I decided to choose the hard. Step 3, use practical tools. Here are some specific tactics that work. The 5-second rule: when you notice resistance, count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and just go. Counting helps you get over that hump of resistance. Thank you, Mel Robbins. Tackle big challenges first thing in the morning. Don't give your brain time to talk you out of it. Do the hard thing when your willpower is highest. Time things. We have so many stories about things taking too long. Meal prep takes forever. Planning my day is exhausting. Set a timer. Actually measure how long it takes. You'll find it's usually way shorter than you think. Planning your day? 2 minutes. Blow drying your hair? 4 minutes. When you realize it only takes 5 minutes, it's a lot harder to say, I don't have time. So here's your homework. What's one small thing you've been avoiding because it's uncomfortable? Something in that first circle, not the marathon, just something small. Maybe it's saying no to someone. Maybe it's stopping the scroll before bedtime tonight. Do that thing this week. Notice the discomfort. Call it out and do it anyway. Then next week, do it again, and the week after that. And watch your comfort zone expand. Watch yourself become someone who can handle hard things. Now go do the thing, even though you don't wanna, especially because you don't wanna. Drop a comment. What's one uncomfortable thing you're going to do this week? Let's hold each other accountable. If you noticed your inner judge showing up during this video, I made a free guide that walks you through how to quiet that voice. It's linked below. Most women tell me they feel calmer and more decisive within days.